Okay, Photoshop students, we're in our last segment of the videos on showing you how to do the first exercise in your text. So by this point you should have selected your headlight, and now what we're going to do is we're going to go over to the this is on page 19. We're going to invert, because what we want to do is, I'm going to zoom out here by hitting Control minus a few times. And what we want to do is we want to invert this selection. So we don't want to make a change to the headlight. We want to make a change that applies to everything but the headlight. So we're going to do what is called an invert selection. So what we do is we go to Select, Inverse, because we have selected the headlight. So we want to select everything but it. So we want the inverse of that. Notice the keyboard shortcut is Shift Control I. So now it doesn't look like we did much, but now you see the marching ants around everything and well as the headlight. Really, essentially what that's saying is you have now selected everything in this image but this headlight, which is exactly what we want. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go over to the right-hand side of our panels, and we're going to select this tab that says Adjustments. And if for some reason you don't see that, you might see color selected or something, but if you click on Adjustments, you'll see the tools that come up that are available underneath Adjustments. And what we're going to do is we're going to select the Curves adjustment. And what the Curves does is, at least in this exercise, is you'll see that it shows the dark and high color contrasts within this image. And Curves basically allows you to enhance or sort of, I guess, deselect, if you will, or not enhance the colors of the dark and light values. So we're trying to basically get this down to an input level of approximately 204 with input value. And if you put your insertion point right over the top right corner of this graph, you can see that it will show the output and input levels of these contrast values for dark and highlight colors. So if you drag this directly to the left, and we want to get it about 204, what we're trying to do is we're trying to brighten up the brights and darken the darks. So you notice if you take it too far, then it does a little bit too much and to the left with the highlight areas. If you drag it straight down the y-axis, then it will darken the dark. So notice that the headlight is not being affected, and that's exactly what we want. So again, we want to end with an input value of about 204. And that is essentially the last step of this exercise. So from this point, you would go to File and Save As. Now I'm not going to do that because I want to keep this original image. And what I would suggest you do is, if you just save it as exercise 1 finished, you could say, I'm not going to actually follow through this, but you would just add the word finished at the end of this, or just replace the word finished so you know and don't get confused over what you did. If for some reason you do not have the images, they should be on the disk that came with your text. Now if you do not have them, just please feel free to email me and I can post them on Blackboard, but I'm assuming that all of you do have them. There's a total of 6 sample images. The text shows you the start and the end product, so make sure whenever you start with the start product. There are 2 other exercises in Chapter 1 that I would ask that you go through. The book does a very good job of walking you through explaining those exercises. If you have a trouble with that, please feel free to, again, to email me, and I'll be posting another video walking through the syllabus and showing you how to access, navigate your way around the Blackboard classroom site. So good luck, and email me if you have questions.